Previously on X-Men. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm sorry, I had to do it. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Life is like a basketball game. Sometimes you're up, other times you're down. Opponents and adversaries coming at you left and right. However, it's not the challenges you face that define you. What defines you is how you play the game. And I play to win. Welcome to my world, Carlton's world.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Carlton's World. It's your boy Carlton, and I am here with my little brother, Cameron, Clay.
Hello.
He's actually now. I do a lot of this bro sis stuff. I'm not doing that as much, but those people aren't blood related. This is my actual brother, like saying mama, saying daddy. So it's my brother, like actual brother.
Yes, we have the same last name.
Oh, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm sorry. You're down here, so I'm using my phone. Laptop's over here, so I'm looking at you over here.
Okay.
Just to let people know what I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm good. Just doing my thing. Trying to make sure you keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's so funny. I'm looking at you. You look just like daddy.
I know. They keep telling me that. Everybody keeps telling me, especially since I cut my hair. Everybody keeps telling me that.
That's crazy. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's sad.
All right. That's not. No, it's not. But that's not what this pod is about. So I want to do this podcast with my brother because we both love X-Men. And of course with X-Men 97 coming out or came out, and I have been saying we should do an episode together. My brother has his own podcast, Jesus Through Love podcast, that he talks about the stuff that he has going on. But I really want to do this pod about X-Men since we both love X-Men, and we're actually going to talk about not just X-Men 97, but just the totality of the entire, franchise. From the original cartoons, Evolution, the movies, and then we'll get into X-Men 97. So before we start, I did a post a couple of months ago, and I basically said, let's talk about our favorite X-Men. Who's your top favorite 5? And so, Cameron, I'm gonna ask you, who are your favorite? You don't have to do 5 if you can't do 5, but who are your favorite or top 5 X-Men?
My first one is always Nightcrawler. I've always liked Nightcrawler. I hate it. Well, we'll get into that since we're gonna talk about everything.
Yeah.
But it's Nightcrawler. Storm, just because it's Storm. Like, I feel like she just has to be in my top because it's Storm. I was an Evolution person. I watched Evolution, so I liked Spike. Since I watched Evolution, but he's not really in everything else. But I like Spike from Evolution, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna say those 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna say those 3. My top, yeah.
Okay. So in my post, I had wrote Iceman, Storm, Gambit, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and then I had to round it out with a 6th person because he became my favorite because of X-Men 97, Bishop. I don't know, man. This new Bishop, like, I love Bishop. They really stepped him up on the new one, and like just the way the way he's powered, like he gets shot. And he uses that energy to shoot, to blast out. That I think that's some of the coolest stuff. That's dope. I like Iceman because I'm obsessed with ice powers. Like with Mortal Kombat, people know that I love Sub-Zero. That's like my favorite Mortal Kombat character. Yes. So that's why I love Iceman. I think Iceman is so dope. Yeah, and we'll talk about the movies too because I hated Iceman in the movies. I hated the way they did him. This was
Yeah.
awful.
That's why I like Nightcrawler. I like Nightcrawler because I've always teleportation has always been my thing. If I could just be where I want to be at any given time, and I don't have to like drive, I can just think about where I want to go, and I'm there. That's perfect for me.
Yeah.
So that's why he's my favorite.
Yeah, that's dope.
But, yeah.
And we talked. Yeah, you said Storm. I think with Storm, I just think I think Storm is so extra, but I love her extraness. I love the way she be like, by the powers of the wind and the goddess of the air.
Yeah.
I love all that. I think that's so it's so dope to me. But we'll get into movies. We'll get into movies because I hated the way they did Storm in the movies too. So we'll get into all that. But you said you started with Evolution. I remember you and Carmen, y'all were watching Evolution when they came out. Of course, I'm an OG. I got into it with the '90s, the original X-Men. They used to come on Fox Kids. And it's funny because you text me when X-97 first came out. You was like, "Y'all waited 20 years for this continuation."
Yes. Yes. I didn't realize how like old it was. I was like, dang. And then the fact, like I said, the fact that they continued it, like the fact that they were like, we're gonna start from where we left off 20 years ago. But
I can appreciate that versus them just starting all the way over, because a lot of times when they do these reboots or whatever, they like, all right, we're just gonna start all the way over as if y'all don't remember what happened before. And I'm just like, no, just pick up where y'all were, and we can go back and watch the old ones. We're good. But honestly, when they first made the announcement about X-Men '97, it made me go back and watch the original, because I didn't remember every single thing that happened. I watched it, of course, when I was a kid, but I don't. That was again 20, almost 30 years ago. So I didn't remember every single episode. So I went back and watched it like recently. I think like they made the announcement in 2022, I think, or 2023.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched it then, and I was like, okay. And then after I watched the very last episode, I was like, okay, I see why they wanted to bring it back, because we needed a continuation from there. So
literally, I went back and watched you told me to watch the last episode.
Yeah.
And I went back and watched the last episode, and I was like, oh, okay, because I was confused when it came out. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Why is Professor Xavier dead? What is going on? And so you were like, go back and watch the last episode. And so then I found out he wasn't dead. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm caught up. I know where he's at.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely confused.
Yeah. When the show came out when I was younger, of course the favorite was Wolverine. Like everybody loved Wolverine. Of course, everyone to this day people still love Wolverine. But what I can appreciate about this new one, this X-Men '97, they actually took time to really flesh out everybody versus just focusing on Wolverine. Because even the movies, they focused on Wolverine. It was like,
yeah, it was Wolverine. The whole time.
Yeah.
It was Hugh Jackman everywhere. It was Hugh Jackman in every scene.
Yeah.
It was either him or Jean in every scene. Like it was them. Yeah, I did appreciate that. I liked. Everybody had an episode.
Yeah.
Like everybody had an episode, and I appreciated it. Like I said, like you said, Wolverine wasn't even a main character for real.
Right.
Like he was supporting in this whole season. Like so, yeah, I do appreciate that, because we got enough Wolverine. He's about to get a new movie with Deadpool. Just let's talk about other people.
Yeah.
Like let's talk about some other people. We know who Wolverine is. We know how great he is. Let's talk about somebody else.
Yeah. So I am actually watching Evolution now, because again, I know you and Carmen watched it when they first came out. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I used to kind of watch it with y'all, I used to be like, this ain't it. Because I was like, because of course, again, when you grow up with something, it's like you always comparing that to what you grew up with.
Yeah, what you
But as I'm watching Evolution now, I'm still on the first season, and I have a coworker, shout out to Mike Lepp. He's like an X-Men. That's where I get all my X-Men knowledge from. He's like the X-Men connoisseur. I was talking to him about it. I was like, I'm watching season 1. I think the thing that's throwing me about Evolution is the fact that they're all at the same high school and they're fighting each other, but they act like they don't know that each other have. It's weird that they're all at the same high school together, and it's like, okay, we're all at the same high school during the day, but at nighttime we're gonna fight each other. It's like,
right, it's all
that's the only thing that's throwing me about that particular series. But I'm gonna keep going because I'm so immersed right now in X-Men because X-Men 97 has ended, the season 1 has ended, and so I'm like, okay, I need something else to watch. And so I've been watching Evolution, and like, so I'm definitely gonna keep going because I remember it getting. I remember when y'all watched the later seasons. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it was. I love that show. I had it on DVD.
I remember.
I don't know who bought
Yeah.
it for me, but yeah, I had all the seasons on DVD, and I used to just watch it. Like, do I remember it now? If I watched it, I'm sure I would start remembering what happened. But yeah, I think it was the high school part that got me and Carmen. Like, it was closer to our age. Like, high school. Well, it wasn't close to our age. We were kids, but it was like where we wanted to go. High school, like seeing them in high school. I don't know. And then I liked too. Like, it had everybody in it. Like, it was so many characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and people that you normally didn't see, because the movies were out. I think they were out or they were coming out when that show was on, or when I had the DVDs. So it was like I saw characters that I didn't know were a part of X-Men. Like, because the movies, you know, it stuck to Rogue, like you said, Rogue, Wolverine, Storm, Jean, Cyclops, and, you know, they had cameos from certain characters, but you didn't really, like, you had to catch it. Like, if you were an X-Men fan, you would catch it, but I was a kid, so I didn't really catch a lot of the cameos. So I got
you.
And I was like, okay, so there's so-and-so. Like, especially like Last Stand, when like everybody was in the movie, but it was like, why is he evil? Like, that was my confusion, because when I watched Evolution, they were on the good side, and then when I watched Last Stand, they were like, they were fighting against them. So it's like, I thought they were. I need a backstory. Like, I don't like how you just threw Spike. I don't like how you just threw one of my favorite characters. Like, Spike was in Last Stand, but he was evil, and it's like, I don't like how you did that. He's not evil. Like, he's on the good side. So yeah, it's just, you know, like they put series can do a lot more than movies can. I understand movies have you have a small window, you have a lot, like a small time frame to get the story in. So that's why I feel like TV shows are a lot better, like when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I think, like I said, even with the original X-Men, because again, talking to my coworker, they like, of course, they take things from the comics. They're taking things from the comics and they're adapting it to the screen. So there are a lot of things that are like, okay, you have questions about. Even with X-Men 97, I would go to work and be like, okay, who's this person, and like, what is the relation to, you know, just different things like that. He'll explain it to me because he's read all the comics, so he knows everything about X-Men.
I wish I was a comic. I wish I read the comics. Like, every time I hear super, but there's so many of them now that I'm like, I just look up. Like, I'm not going. It's way too many comics in the world, and then they're still making new ones, and it's like,
yeah.
okay.
Apparently, in these new ones, Storm is about to join the Avengers, or she's about to rejoin the Avengers, or something like that. I was like, oh, okay.
See, I thought the Avengers were dead. Like, I thought it was new Avengers. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. So we got the original X-Men, that what I grew up with. You have X-Men Evolution, which you grew up with. So let's get into these movies. So I will say I was at first very excited when the movies came out. I think when did the first one come out? The very first one. Let's see. I'm trying to gauge how old I was when it first came out. I just remember I was very excited. I was very excited when they announced that the first X-Men movie was coming out, because again, I was like, yay, I love X-Men. This is going to be great. I cannot wait for this. It was released in the year 2000. So I was in the 9th grade. Is that right? 2000? No, wait. Well, it depends. Year 2000, I was in the 8th grade. When it turned year 2000, I was in the 8th grade, but then I went into the ninth grade. So I guess it would depend on exactly when it came out. 2000. What month did it actually come out? It came out July 14, 2000. So I was going, and so it was the summer before my ninth grade year. So I was, as y'all can tell, that was a very long time ago.
I wasn't. I had to catch up.
So what was your first X-Men movie?
I vividly remember the second one. Like I
Okay.
vividly remember X-Men 2 because I was at Margaret's house and she rented it for us to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know when X-Men 2 came out, but I vividly remember that one. And then I had to go back because I was, like you said, you were in ninth grade, so I was 3 when X-Men came out. So I wasn't watching it. If it was on, I wasn't paying attention. I was too young. I'm a baby. Like I'm my daughter's age at that time, so it's like she don't pay attention to nothing. So I know I wasn't paying attention to anything. But yeah, X-Men 2 I remember vividly, and that's when Nightcrawler. That's how I love Nightcrawler because he was in the second.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought he was
Okay.
cool. So yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, it was really rogue heavy. It was of course Wolverine heavy. But it was pretty much focused on Rogue and trying to get her to join the X-Men and all this other stuff. And of course you meet the typical characters: Jean, Cyclops, Professor X, Magneto, Mystique was in that one. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember leaving that theater afraid because Mystique didn't scare me in the cartoons because it's a cartoon. But in real life, you got this person that can turn into anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
Like literally anybody. And my mind is very vivid. And so it's like I literally for days was like looking at people funny because I was like, are you a real person? I'm silly. I know. I don't know why I was thinking that, but that's where my mind went.
I think about these movies now. Like you're talking about the first one, how it was rogue heavy, and I remember the girl who played Rogue. She was pretty big actress back then. I feel like in the 2000s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking back, it's like, did they make it rogue heavy because of her? You know what I mean? Like because they knew people were gonna watch it because she was in it. Like
yeah,
I don't know. I look at the movies, the superhero. Like I told the kid this. I'm gonna go into Marvel because I mean this is all Marvel, but they're Fox more so, Fox Marvel.
Yeah.
But we just watched Madam Web on Netflix, the movie that was everybody said was garbage, and I was telling Kia, I feel like Avengers ruined superhero movies in my opinion. They're great. I love the Avenger movies. Now I'm not saying they're bad. They ruined it because they everybody wants every superhero movie to be like the Avengers now. Like it has to be that good. It has to be that long. It has to like the storytelling has to be that great, and that's not every superhero movie. And I feel like a lot of superhero movies get bad reps now because of the Avengers. Like but I was saying back then, like with the first X-Men, it's like I don't know. I'm just looking at it and comparing it to these movies today, and it's like, but where like Rogue is important. She's an important part of the X-Men, but it's like, why was that the storyline? Like, why are we, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't we talk about something else?
Right. Yeah.
Like, so just looking at comparing movies today, it's like, I feel like we should have really focused on maybe like Professor Xavier. Like, this is the first one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we should have done something better than that.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, even going to like we was talking about, was about to get into like the things we disliked. This is no diss or no shade against Halle Berry. I think Halle Berry is an amazing actress. And again, she's just following the script, following what the director says. But she shouldn't have been Storm. Like, if we really, like, back then, of course, excitement. You got this Halle Berry, obviously she's a big name, big Hollywood name, so she's gonna play this iconic character. So of course there's excitement and there's gonna be buzz that comes with that. But looking back at it now and like 20 years later, nah. I said this. I know back then we weren't really getting, a lot of actors and actresses from other countries or whatever. But they really should have tapped into the African actors and actresses and really got an African actress, like somebody. Like,
yeah.
I know we're African American. I know that we're black, but like somebody from like Africa, where Storm's character is actually from, like really
who had the accent, like all that.
Yeah. To really tap into that and really have somebody really embody this character. But again, it still goes even back to the directing and the writing. I mean, the way they wrote Storm in those movies sucked. Like she didn't fly. When did Storm actually fly? Did she fly in the third one? Because she didn't. She didn't fly. She didn't fly in the first one.
Which one is it where they like tore up the house? Like she came down. I think that was the second one. They were in like a house fighting in the house.
Yeah,
she,
something like that.
Down. Yeah, I think it was the second one. She finally.
Okay.
Like yeah.
I know she didn't fly in the first one at all, and I was very disappointed. I remember that in the movie. I was like, "The Storm didn't fly."
Right.
So that was crazy. And that was another thing about Rogue too. Like they didn't really tap into what Rogue could really do either. I know there's a whole thing where she takes Miss Marvel's powers and that's how she can fly and all this other stuff. But they made Rogue real simpy too. Like
I didn't know she was that powerful. Like until I watched 97 recently, I was like, yo, all Rogue did was take her gloves off. Like everything like in the movies, it was just like, oh my God, it was just this big dramatic thing. She took her gloves off, she touched her face, and it's like, okay, like they had to get her close. Like it's like she couldn't fight on her own. They had to literally do all this fighting, and she had to like sneak up and take her gloves off and then touch you. And looking at X-Men, I said, it was like, yo, she was fighting.
Yes.
Like especially the last episode, like, yo. Like she was like where was
she
this?
She fought in the old ones. She fought in the original series. She even honestly like I remember the episodes y'all watched the Evolution. She fought in that too. I mean Rogue is a fighter, and the movies they did not do her justice at all. Especially in the Last Stand, when it was like, I know there's an episode in the original when she contemplates wanting to get rid of her powers. There is an episode where she does contemplate that, but it's like in the movie she actually went through with it. I was like, nah.
Yeah. She like she got rid of her. I forgot she became normal in the movies.
Yeah, she became normal in the movies. I was like, that sucks. Yeah, they didn't do my girl Storm right. Iceman, it was cute, the little thing he did with his little hand in the movie. Like it was like, I can do a little icicle. I mean, that's cute, but it was like Iceman can turn into full-fledged ice. He could do all this other cool things. Like it was.
Was he only in the first one? He was only in the first one. Right?
He was in all three of them.
He was in all three
because he tried to convince Rogue not to get rid of her powers.
Right. He was. I know who he's played by. I remember him now.
Yeah.
I remember who he was played by.
Yeah.
Him and Cyclops were real close, right?
Yeah.
In the movies?
Kinda? I think so in the movies. I think. Oh, yeah, let's talk about Cyclops. Let's get into that because Cyclops and X-Men 97, everything. Yeah. Like, they bossed him up real hard. Like, it was like, nah, we're not about to make Cyclops like a simp in this one. They bossed him up real hard. Like, I mean, I didn't think Cyclops was, like, horrible in the original. But I know a lot of people don't really like Cyclops too much. I don't really know why, but I thought he was okay. I thought he was cool. I mean, he's not my favorite. He's not my top, but I thought it was cool.
I don't know. I think I was one of those people that didn't like him. I don't know why. It was something about him. Like I think the movies. You know what I think it is? I think what pisses me off is always the triangle. Like I just in anything. Like
the Cyclops Jean Wolverine
triangle. Yeah. Anybody who's in a love triangle, like when it goes back to even TV shows we used to watch, like One Tree Hill, they had the love octagon, whatever. Like they were all just jumbled up. But like anybody in love, it's like, yo, let's just step out. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt, I used to be like Cyclops. Let it go. Let it go. Like Jean obviously don't know what she want. Like it's just is she here or there? Like that's why I didn't like Cyclops in the movies. It's like, bro, you're better than this. Okay? Like you're way better than this. You don't have to keep fighting. Wolverine is gonna whoop your butt. Okay, we know this. Like you can't beat him. I think that's why I didn't like Cyclops. It's because of the love triangle. Like it's not because of who he like. Dope superhero, like but yeah, I just didn't like the love triangle thing. Like I didn't like that aspect of it. I still don't. Even when '97, I was like, oh, this is real. Oh, this wasn't just the movies. Like this is a real thing that
this
happened.
was a whole thing. Like that whole thing the thing that people be posting about Wolverine touching the picture. That's a real thing.
Yeah, like oh wow.
Yes, that's a real thing.
Because especially last episode when he was telling Wolverine, like don't die. Like. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched now, I apologize. But like telling him, don't die because she needs you. Like, she'll be mad she needs you. And it's like, yo, what is going on here? like what is going on here? That's your wife. Sorry, die. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna be competing with you for the rest of my life. Like, no, we're not doing this.
I think, honestly, and we'll get into X-Men 97 more, but I think, honestly, with that, I think it's because his heart is torn between Jean and Madeline Pryor. That's probably like he's giving that a pass, probably.
Okay. So Madeline is the other one?
Yes, that's the other one. That's the clone.
The other Jean.
The other Jean.
The one that he had the baby with. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord.
So back to the movies. With Cyclops, I hated that they killed him off on the third one. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, no. I don't care how much people hate Cyclops. You are not going to kill him off in the third one. I know why they had to do it because I think then he was in Superman 2. Not Superman 2 like Superman 2, but he was in Superman 2 like TOO. Like he was also doing Superman. I think he was doing both at the same time. They had to put him in X-Men, but they was like, we're going to go and kill him off.
He was Superman, right? Was he Superman?
I think he was Superman.
Yeah, he was Superman, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
Now he jumped. That's crazy.
But back then, it wasn't like you said. But back then, like Fox was doing X-Men, so it wasn't this whole big Marvel,
it wasn't
DC
Marvel,
thing
DC yet.
back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't that yet. So,
people wanted more DC back then. If we're being honest,
yeah.
Then they wanted Marvel. Like
Yep.
I would have back then. I was a Batman head. I watched all the Batman movies. Like I was Batman heavy. So yeah, that makes sense though.
I would have just. I know people have a thing about recasting. I would have just recast and I would have said, all right, well, you can't do X-Men, then we're going to have to recast you. What that didn't make sense to me to kill Cyclops. That was stupid.
Yeah, especially because it's like the movies wasn't really about him anyway too much. Like he was real heavy a part of the third one because Jean, that was the Dark Phoenix one.
Yeah, that was the Phoenix.
She turned to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like so he was real heavy on that one, but at the end, guess who saved Logan? Saved her. So it really they could have recast, like you said, Logan saved her.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. So yeah, they could have recast her.
Yeah,
I feel you on that one.
Yeah,
but they didn't do a fourth one, so I guess it was pointless.
Sort of, kind of, they did do a fourth, but they kind of did, and it was trash. So no, because so then after the third movie, they did First Class. Well, they did. Of course, they got the Wolverine.
The
Logans,
yeah.
The trilogy. I saw the first two. I haven't seen the third one yet. Everybody keeps telling me I need to watch the third one. I haven't.
I went to see the third one. I went to see it. I only saw it in the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. You did.
When I was in college, and I had a kid was at work, and I was bored, so I just went to the movies, and they were showing it, and I watched it, and it was out of all of them, I would say that was the best one.
That's
out of all the Logan ones, that was the best.
That's
one.
what Mike and I call him cousin, but my Brandon, the guy I work with, that's what they say. They said watch. That's why they say watch. They said the third one is the best one. You gotta watch that one. So I gotta
That's
watch.
the best one. It's just storyline wise, like storyline wise is the best one. But like, continue. I wish they would have like. That was one of the movies where it's like you got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep going with that. Like,
Oh, okay.
After it ended, like I would have liked that they would have kept going with like the next generation. But then, like you said, they just started over with First Class. Like they were just like, we're gonna start over.
So they did First Class, and I didn't think First Class was that bad. I thought First Class was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it, but then we get into Days of Future Past. I get our Day of Future Past, however you're supposed to say it. I don't remember it. Days of Future Past. We get into that, and I thought that movie was horrendous. I didn't like. I couldn't stand it, bro.
Was that the Apocalypse one?
No, that wasn't Apocalypse one.
So they have three of them. So they had three of them. Days of Future Past, then Apocalypse.
So hold on, I'm looking straight. I want to make sure I get this information up correct. But I just remember watching Days of Future Past, and so X-Men Origins Wolverine came out in 2009. First Class came out in 2011. And then The Wolverine, which is the second Wolverine movie, came out in 2013. Then X-Men Days of Future Past came out in 2014. And the reason why I say that there was a fourth X-Men, because Days of Future Past, to me, is considered X-Men 4. Only because you got the old original cast from the movies plus the new people, but the old original cast from the movies, they're in Days of Future Past. And they actually, because of because of how Days of Future Past ended, they pretty much like erased everything that happened in X-Men 3.
Right. That's when we thought they were about to start over.
Right.
That's when everybody was like, they're going to start over because they erased.
So Cyclops, so basically Cyclops is still alive. Jean is still alive. Professor X is still, like, everybody is back alive. Right. I just thought that was
the whole point.
Exactly. But that movie was just all over the place to me. It was just bad. It was bad. It was bad. I didn't like it. I don't remember too much about the new X-Men movies. Like, I remember the first one. Like you said, First Class. First Class was pretty good. Yeah.
First Class was
because
good.
You got to see like really you got to see the origin of like Professor X and Magneto's relationship.
Right. Exactly. Like I saw that. Like that one was good. You got to see how how he became paralyzed. Like all that. Like that was. I enjoyed that one. Like I said, the other ones I remember watching just because I'm an X-Men fan. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch them. Like just because I need to see what happened. And it's like, I watched. I don't remember I know Apocalypse. I know we didn't get there yet, but I know Apocalypse was like Dark Phoenix because that's when Jean became Phoenix.
So Days of Future Past was 2014. Then Apocalypse came out in 2006. So that's where I stopped actually after Days of Future Past. I stopped because I was like, I can't do this anymore. And so I didn't see Apocalypse, I didn't see Dark Phoenix, and I didn't see Logan. I didn't see those three.
Wait, okay, so they had Apocalypse, then they had Dark
Phoenix?
So
it was Apocalypse came out in 2016, Logan came out in 2017, and then Dark Phoenix came out in 2019.
Shoot, I was getting them together. Okay, so Dark Phoenix. See, I don't even remember. I don't think I watched Dark Phoenix. If I'm being honest with you.
I don't. I remember seeing the commercials for it. I was like, "We're doing this again." I was like, "I'm good."
I think Carlton. I think I was with you. I think I was just like, I'm gonna wait till Marvel takes over. I think I got to that point because that's when. By that time, Avengers was out already. Like we had done all the Avengers, like Thor and all. I was like, Fox, it's time for you to give it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just sell it, just like Spider-Man did. Sell it. Get your little percentage out of the movies, but let Marvel take over. Like, they have better story writers, like like better storytellers, in on that side. So, I feel you. Once they starting over, I was like, and then they switched characters again, didn't they? Like they kept switching. Didn't they switch somebody? If I remember.
I don't know.
Was it I don't remember Mystique. Who played Mystique? What's her name played
Um,
Mystique from Hunger
yeah,
Games?
yeah, 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 yeah. She played Mystique. The girl that I was just saying, the woman that played Aaliyah played Storm. Um, in the new
Oh
ones,
yeah.
and that's all I remember. I just,
I don't know.
yeah,
Like I said, the first one was good, and then they fell off.
yes.
That's all I remember. Like, every movie just got worse. Like every
It
movie
was
just
like
got
I said, it
worse.
was Days of Future Past for me. I was like, this is a convoluted mess, and I cannot be a part of this anymore. And then yeah, because I remember they at the end of Future Past, I believe it was at the end of Future Past, they hinted at Apocalypse. Like, you know, they do that post
Yeah,
credits thing, and then
yeah,
um
yeah.
and
I
I was
remember
like,
that.
oh, okay. And then I remember Apocalypse came out, and I was like, okay, am I gonna go see this? And I just decided not to go see it. I was just like, I'm gonna pass. I'm good.
I think I watched it. I think I watched it at home too. I think I waited till it came on TV
Yeah.
or whatever we was doing back then, Netflix, whatever it came on.
Hoocha. But yeah. So
Yeah,
we get into X-Men '97, and I remember when they first made the announcement again, it made me want to go back and watch the original. But also too, I was a little skeptical at first. 'Cause I was just like, because again, we are in this age of everybody wants to bring everything back, and everything that's coming back is not that great. And I was like, please do not mess up X-Men. Y'all cannot bring this back and mess it
yeah,
up. Um, but I'm so glad I was wrong. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." And then that very first day when they did the 2 episodes, and that theme music hit, it's always it's when it comes to TV shows, it's always the theme music. The theme music is gonna either gonna get you, or it's gonna be like, I don't know. And the thing with X-Men, the
yeah,
theme music is just especially the original. That theme music is everything. And so when that first episode came on and they hit that, they showed the the Marvel thing they show all the time with all the stuff.
yeah. All the
Yeah,
characters.
and then,
Yeah,
like, but the way the music snuck in with that, it was like doom 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 doom. I was like, oh man, I said this. I'm hyped. I'm too hyped. And then
no, they really came in with a bang on the first one.
yes,
They really
yes,
did. Yeah.
absolutely. And then it's like then they added Bishop to the opening. Um, they added Morph to the opening, and I was like, okay, all right, we in for a ride, man. Them for like I said, them first 2 episodes was everything, and I was like, okay, yeah, this was good. And then at the end of episode 2, this this new Gene, this other Gene lookalike pops up, and it's like, wait, what's going on? What are y'all? Because at first it's like, at first you
Yeah,
think when the show first came back, when X Men '97 came on, I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna pick back up from where they left off. It's gonna be a bunch of nostalgia. It's just gonna be, you know, we're gonna just basically we're getting the show that we once watched. But it was like, no, we really gonna give it to y'all. And it was like, as soon as that the actual Gene popped up at the door, I was like, okay, all right, this is they about to really take it to a whole new level. And then, oh yeah, then I think they had like a cuss word or two. Where I was like, oh, they cussing, okay.
yeah. No, Disney really when Disney put out the parental guidance thing, like parental control,
hmm
I said, "Oh, it's about to be I was about to get crazy." I said, "Disney about to take it to another level." Like Disney Plus was like, "Nah, that plus means we about to. It's not Disney no more. We got extra stuff coming."
Yeah.
No, yeah, because they added all the old Marvel Netflix shows and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't surprised when they cussed in X-Men. But like you were saying, I was about to say, I was gonna say Morph. When you mentioned Morph, I was gonna say Morph is one of my favorite characters, but I didn't want to because I just found out who he was in X-Men '97. So I never heard of Morph before
hmm
this show, and I'm like, yo, why wasn't he in any? Like, that's dope. Like, he could change into anybody he wants and get their powers. Like, yo, he should have been top X-Men.
With
Like,
Mystique, so she can change into anybody, but she doesn't have that powers.
she doesn't. Yeah, it's like just more of a look. I feel
Okay.
like, Yeah, like, but he turned to Hulk that one episode, and I was like, man, yeah, Morph is that dude.
Yeah, Morph.
Like,
So Morph was in the original, but he got killed off, and then it came to we found out that he actually wasn't dead. Sinister basically brought him back to life or did something, but still he ended up was working for Sinister at one point, and then because he was under Sinister's control, and then they was able to free him. So, like you said, you saw him he was on the last episode of the original X-Men. He was there. So
yeah,
but yeah, he
okay.
wasn't on
Yeah, I
the
remember.
old ones like that. He was like on a few episodes. That was it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So Sinister, have they been battling Sinister
since the original.
since the
So,
original one?
cause Sinister basically he's obsessed with Scott and Jean. He basically feels like they're the perfect mutants, and that's why he wanted Cable Nathan.
Cable,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So he's been on this since the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know Sinister, but I didn't know he was. I don't know who I thought he was the villain for. I didn't think it was
Do you
X
think it was
Men.
Spider Man?
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was on Spider Man. Maybe he was too. I mean, they all share people, right? It's just, like maybe I thought it was. Maybe I thought it was. I don't know who I thought he was. I was like, I don't remember Sinister being X Men, but like I said, I didn't read comics, so I can't. I'm not gonna act like I know
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I mean, it's
But
but
yeah,
that's honestly that was the exciting thing for me. Even watching X Men '97, I had fun watching it and going back to my coworker and being like, "Hey, asking who is this? Like, what's the significance?" I had fun asking questions because again, I didn't read the comics either. But of course, again, I watched the original series, but they didn't really tap in a lot. They didn't tap in like a lot to they adapted some things from the comics, but it wasn't like they still had some liberties or whatever. So with X Men
right,
'97, they really heavily relied on the comics and really taking things from the comics and adapting those storylines. And so I was like, all right, I was able to act even like I said, even when the original Gene popped, because I remember my coworker, he was like, yeah, I think they're gonna do the whole Gene clone storyline. He was like, I don't think when they showed that, well, we find out that it's the clone. When they first showed that she was pregnant, he said that's the clone, and I was like, the clone. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, Jean is actually a clone. They actually cloned her, and that's Madeline Pryor. And I was like, who is Madeline Pryor? Like, what is all this stuff that y'all are making up? What is going on? And
no, I was the same way when I watched that episode, and I was like, see, my head went to. That's why I'm like, I didn't read the comics. My head went to, oh, should we get into the multiverse? That's what my head went into. I was like, multiverse, because that's the big thing with Marvel lately is multiverse. Like, multiverse this, all these different types of the same superhero coming back. So I'm thinking multiverse, but then they went into clone and all this. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing comics. Like, that's when I was like, okay. This is not multiverse related
right,
at all. Not at least not yet. It's more a clone thing. But yeah, I was with you. I was like, this is kind of cool learning stuff about X-Men because I didn't know, like you said, I didn't know anything. I just knew the movies and the TV show, and I didn't watch the original one, so I didn't even know about the original one. I just knew the TV show
yeah,
that I watched. So it
yeah.
was cool.
I yeah, like I said, I enjoyed just the ride of watching it from week to week because again we're so used to binging stuff, like we're so, especially post COVID, it's like we're so used to. I mean, they were doing it before, but like really, because we were trapped inside during COVID, it was like, all right, we're gonna give y'all all these episodes, we're gonna give you everything, so that way you'll have, you'll binge watch it and everything. We're so used to that, so I enjoyed actually being able to watch it from week to week. Um, Except the 3-part finale. I wanted all that at once. I ain't gonna lie. I was telling my coworker, I was like, I need all that at once. Because it was just so good.
Yeah, give me an hour and a half long finale.
Yes, it was so
Yeah.
good. I was like, I want all the whole thing. But in hindsight, I'm glad that they did it like how they did
But
it, week to week.
see, that's Disney. Like I've been watching a lot. I've been watching their originals since they started Disney Plus, like all the Marvel originals and stuff. Yeah, they don't do that binge stuff. They'll give you like 2 episodes at the beginning, but then they're like, you gotta wait. Like every week, you gonna have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, they really gonna get their money because like they gonna get the money out of you for real because it's like, that show gonna last longer than at least 2 months.
Yeah.
So you gonna have to pay at least 2 months of subscription before you get this whole show, or you gonna have to wait until it's over and then buy it. But yeah, no, I like week to week because like you said, when it's binge, you get so trapped and then you watch it and then now it's like it feels like it takes a lot longer for it to come back.
Right.
Like when you binge it because you watching the day it comes out and they're like, yeah, it won't come out for another year, so you really have to wait a year and then maybe a few months depending on what kind of show or movie you watch in order for the new one to come out. So I do like that Disney puts it out week by week. Makes you feel like a child. You waiting for that Friday.
Yeah. I felt like I agree. I felt like watching it. I felt like I was that kid, and when me and Kendra were young, we used to live with our grandparents. Not me and Kendra, but the family. Actually, my mom and dad was there too. But I'm saying our mom and dad was there too.
I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there. You weren't there. It was just me. It was just me and Kendra. But we used to live with our grandparents, and I just remember sitting at that dining room table and watching X-Men every Saturday morning. So it took me back to watching X-Men 97 from week to week. It took me back to that time, and I definitely appreciated that for sure. So the episode, of course, that was the epicenter of the season. Definitely the saddest moment of the entire season was the Remember It episode when it was the genocide on Genosha, and we lost Gambit. That was horrible because again, Gambit is in my top, and I was like, we are not doing this. Why did y'all kill off Gambit? Like, that was horrible.
See, that was another thing that I was saying. Every time when I actually watch people, because nowadays, like I said, when they're basing off the comics, so like nowadays, people like truly they don't care about anything but getting it close to the comics. Like I feel like back then they cared more about money. Like we gotta make money, we gotta make profit off of it. Now it's like people don't care about what we were talking about. We gotta make it based off of what they know and what they've seen. Like we have to make it based off that. So like I didn't realize because Gambit was in Last Stand, correct? The X-Men 3.
Was he?
He was played by Ryan Reynolds, I think.
Wait, what? I thought Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool.
No, Ryan Reynolds he did play Deadpool in that. No, he was played by a black guy, wasn't he?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember him being in a movie. I just remember Gambit being in the movie because he was at a bar with Wolverine. Maybe
Gambit was in one of the Wolverine movies.
Wolverine movies. That's what it was. He was in a Wolverine movie when he was fighting his brother. When he was fighting what's his name? Whatever his name is. The guy with the all claws. He's named after an animal too, like Wolverine. But anyway, I didn't realize how, like I said, X-Men 97 made me realize how dope these characters were. Like, I thought Gambit was just a card guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because based on those movies, like, he was just throwing the cards around and, like, doing, I didn't realize he could, like, control things. Like, he had.
Oh, no, yeah. Gambit was that guy. Gambit was definitely that guy. He got that energy. He definitely could do that.
Yeah, like I didn't know, like I said, X-Men 97 really, like I love that they stuck to the comics because I can finally see how these characters, like who these characters really are, like because the movies, like we said already, the movies didn't do them any characters justice in my opinion.
I agree.
Like any of them, like even Professor, and we'll get there, but even Professor Xavier, like I didn't know he could do all that, like. You know what he did to Magneto? I didn't know he could do all that. Like, I thought he just read people. I thought he just read people's minds and made you think stuff. Like, I didn't realize he could literally use your powers also. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that. So,
Oh yeah, he can definitely make you do whatever he wants you if he wants to. He can make you do whatever. That's what makes him so dangerous. Even Jean, like Jean is a powerful mutant.
yeah,
Like they are powerful
yeah,
mutants.
no, Gene is that definitely is.
Yeah, so Gambit was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Gambit was originally supposed to get his own Origins movie, but they ended up scrapping it.
See, that would have been nice.
I think. Don't
nice.
quote me on that, but I think that's correct. But yeah.
See, this is my X-Men take. This may be a hot take for some people who don't believe it. X-Men was supposed to be the original Avengers. And I feel like they fumbled. Like I feel like they truly fumbled. Like they had so many. It's because it's so many superheroes. Like it's so many mutants that are important in the X-Men, and I feel like they all should have been like. Instead of putting it in like the X-Men movies should have been like the Avenger movies, but they also should have had the outer movies like the Avengers had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it should be like they came together on X-Men. But they have a Jean Grey movie. They have a Wolverine movie, a Storm movie. You know what I'm saying? Then we come back. You know, everybody's in everybody's movie, but it's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a Storm. This is about Storm. Like, it's like the Avengers. They had the Thor movies, the Iron Man, Captain America's in between. You saw Spider-Man in those movies. You saw Ant-Man. Like, you saw all those people. And then they all came. Then there was a big villain where it's like, we got to come back together.
Yeah.
Like we been together, but we got to fight together now in this movie. Like that's what I feel like they wanted to do, and they just didn't do right by it, in my opinion. Like that's what it should have been. And then it's early 2000s. Like you got to take what you can get back then.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't enough computers. Like they were still learning technology for real. Like green screen, CGI, all that stuff. So it would have been. If they would have started it now, like hopefully they do. Hopefully they redo it and do it the right way, then they should do it like that, I feel like.
Yeah. I think because I want to get into some other things real quick too. But what did you want to say about Professor Xavier?
Huh?
What did you want to say about Professor Xavier? You said you want to say something. You said you're going to get into it later.
Oh, no, I was just saying what he did with Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know he could do all that.
And then we said we think Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds definitely plays Deadpool. I was like,
yeah. But no, because it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing where it was like, was that Deadpool in Origins because he wasn't like he didn't look like Deadpool yet.
Gotcha.
That was prior, because Deadpool like has like cancer and like all that stuff. He's technically dying, but he just can't die anymore. So. He looks like completely different. He doesn't look like a normal human under that mask.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, he didn't have the mask yet, but he was Deadpool.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like I said, and then even with X-Men '97, like I grew to like Magneto because like I wasn't like a Magneto fan. I was like, why does everybody like Magneto so much? No, Magneto's that dude.
He's so trash.
Right. I said Magneto's that dude. Now I will say, I did not like that outfit. I did not like that nude with that M. That I know that's in the comics. I know that's again a lot of everything that
you talking about the one he been wearing?
I hate it.
Like he's been wearing the whole time.
I hate it.
You didn't like it?
No. No.
I thought it was cool. I like the outfit with his long hair. I thought it was dope. I like the hair. I liked all of that. I don't know. I like.
No, I wasn't feeling that. I like the what he got on with the armor. I like that. Yeah.
I love the way Magneto looked. I thought he looked cool. I was like, yeah, that's cool, old man. Like, it's a cool.
I think maybe it was the M. I don't know. It was just giving. I mean, obviously this came out back in the day, but it was definitely giving 80s spandex.
Yeah. No, for sure. Especially Jean's outfit.
So okay, I'll take Magneto's outfit over Jean's. I hate Jean's outfit. I hate that green dress and that mask. I was like, what in the world is that?
It was horrible.
I hate it.
I was hoping when they did the the cut scene, the scene where they were all putting their outfits on.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I said, please don't put that on. I was hoping she was like maybe just looking at it, like just like admiring
Right.
it. And at first off, I was like, who's out? I'm sorry, y'all. It's a dog. My dog's barking. I was like, in my head, I was like, whose outfit is that? Like that's who I was wondering at first. I was like, who is that? I don't like her. I didn't like Cyclops' outfit either. I know it's original, but like it's too, like you said, it's 80s. It's too
I
tight.
think the only original outfit I really liked was Storm's. I thought Storm's outfit was bomb.
Yeah, no,
because
for sure, yeah.
because
Storm always has the best
she does.
outfits.
Because I honestly, when they brought X-Men 97 back, because you know how I feel about Mohawks, I was like, and I know that's her, because that's in the comics. She goes through the punk phase where she actually has that, and they actually showed it in the original X-Men too. There's an episode, I think it's called Days of Future Past. I think it's called that too, but they show an alternate Wolverine and Storm, and they're actually married, and Storm and Terra is like that. It's in like that Mohawk style, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Mohawk.
I don't like Mohawk.
Cause didn't Holly do it?
Did she?
In one of them?
Did she? I don't know.
Maybe it was like
I think the new Storm did, like I think when what's the Alexandria ship? I think Alexandria ship.
Yeah, maybe that one. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking about.
I think she did it, but I just wasn't a fan. And I was so glad when Storm got her powers back and she did her transformation. I was like, yes, thank you.
No, that was a dope episode. That was a dope episode.
That was a good episode.
That was a dope episode.
Yes, I was like, thank you that her hair transformed as well. I appreciate it.
But see, when you were talking about the parters, I hated that was a two-parter. I needed that. I needed her to come out that first part. Like I didn't want to wait.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to wait for her to get her powers.
Yeah.
But
I was
dope.
curious how long they were going to have her powerless, because like she lost her powers in episode 2, and then she didn't get them back until after Genosha. So I think that was episode 6.
Yeah.
She got them back episode 6.
6, yeah.
So, and
because technically she didn't know about Genosha till
right.
later.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So yeah. So I'm saying, who else outfits? I think that's it. I think for the most part that's,
Yeah, everybody else is cool. I like Rogue. Rogue had the original outfit. Yeah. Like she looked fine. Like I could tell you I was waiting for her to take her gloves off. She did not take her gloves off once. I was waiting for her to take her gloves off. I was like, where's that power at? You got to take the gloves off, girl. But
she did it when she
when she touched Magneto.
And when she touched, it was somebody else too. She touched
Gambit to see she couldn't feel him.
But it was somebody. It was the guy she touched. I can't think of his name. The one that was helping with the Sentinels or whatever. She touched him too to get the information or something she did.
You talking about the German? Was it German? Was he German?
I don't know.
Like when they were fighting those people, when they had all the like the guns, like little hands and stuff.
I think
I know what you're talking about. I think that was the episode where they like invaded their like warehouse or something.
I think it was after Gambit died. After it was like the episode when she was going crazy trying to get information. I think she.
Oh, trying to find yeah.
So yeah. I'm trying to think what else significant. That. I thought.
So like, what was there an episode that you were like, Because I'll be real with you, that Jubilee episode.
Yes, bro. Yes. I was just about to say that. I was about to say the Jubilee episode, but I get it. I mean, they wanted to show her growing up, and I thought that was cool that Jubilee does more than what she does, because I just thought Jubilee just did the sparkles. I just thought that was
fireworks. Yeah,
that was it. I was like, okay, fireworks. That's cute, but no, she could actually really she can move with them, and she could throw circles and stuff. That was cool. I thought that was dope when she did that on the last episode, because her future self on that episode that we talk about that we didn't like was like, she did, the future her did it, and so I thought that was cool that she did it on the last episode. I
On the
thought that
last
was
one,
that was
yeah.
cool. But I agree with you. That up there, that episode was kind of like that video game episode. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Carlton. I had to rewatch it. Like I literally cut it on, and I think I stopped paying attention, and I was like, I don't even think I watched last week's episode. Like I don't remember. I don't think I watched it, and I went back, and they started off with everybody, and then it just turned to Jubilee and Sun whatever his name is,
Sunspot.
Yeah, Sunspot, and I was just like, oh okay, and I still kind of just let it play. Like I wouldn't say I watched it. Like I'm not gonna act like I watched. I'm not gonna act like I watched it. Like it was just on. Like,
but that was the 2 episodes because they split. It was about Jubilee, then they went into Life Death Part 1, which is about Storm.
That's when I watched it. When Storm came, when it was about Storm, I was like, okay, let me see what Storm got going on. But then, yeah, I didn't care for the Jubilee part. Like,
yeah,
I was just like,
I think that was the only episode I was just like, okay. It was a filler.
But you see, they made it short. Like I said, it was a filler episode. They just was like, yeah, we'll make it a little short, and then we'll bring y'all to where Storm's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I don't know, that was my episode.
I think that was it. For me too. As far as and I think everything else definitely hit for sure. I thought about you though, because I think I hit you up. When the episode when they first showed Spider-Man.
Yeah, where Magneto cut all the power off.
For my brother, like, loves Spider-Man, and my brother, my brother's a Spider-Man fanatic. My brother, when he was younger, like my brother had Spider-Man everything. My brother even had like a Spider-Man pillow-looking thing.
Listen, Carlton, I was just about to say that. So I found it, right? So I gave it to my son. It has been in the closet in his room. Forever. For some reason, the other day, my daughter came with it. Like, she brought it to me. And I was like, and I told her, she's 2 years old, y'all. She does not pay attention to anything. She does not care about what I'm saying. I made her sit down, and I said, I'm going to tell you the story about how I got this Spider-Man pillow. And I was like, and why this pillow is so important to me. Like, y'all, yeah, my dad got that for me. I remember he came home. I think he went to the barbershop. He went somewhere. And it was around my birthday, and he came home with his life, like, at the time it was life size, because I was like 4, 5. Like, so I was a kid, because Spider-Man came out 2002, 2003. So I was like 6, 6 or 7, whatever. He came home with it, and yeah, I've had it since I was like that young. Like, it still has a rip. My auntie has sewn it so many times, but it's still ripped. Like, it's old. Like, it's real old. I'm scared to wash it. Like, that's how old it is. Like, if I wash it, I feel like it's going to, like, shred. Like, like it's going to be, like, I already know what material that it is. But, yeah, like, I remember, yeah, I'm a Spider-Man head. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, is he going to, but they just showed him. Like, I guess it's like a thing for next season, maybe. Like, they're like, we'll team up with people next season.
I thought that was cool, though, how they did the cameos. I thought that was dope, how they showed the different.
Yeah.
When Magneto cut the power supply off, they showed how it affected everybody. But in this last episode, though, like,
Man,
I said,
they had Captain America.
They had everybody.
They had Iron Man in it.
They had everybody.
Yeah.
Real quick before we tap into that, we talk about Morph. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit back like I was a Morph fan. I definitely was be like Morph. I mean, it's like but as he was turning into different people. And as Morph was doing the different, like the powers and everything, especially when Morph turned into the Hulk, that's when it got me. I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay. Oh, this dude is real. Like, he's legit.
All right.
Yeah.
Morph is not playing around. So, yeah. But, so with the last episode, my favorite parts, and we're going to get into, like, what I need X-Men to do. My favorite part is when they showed Black Panther. That was my favorite part. Because in the comics, and I keep saying this, and like people are not listening to me, but in the comics, Storm and Black Panther get married.
So did she marry T'Challa, right? She married T'Challa.
So I think she married T'Challa. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she did marry T'Challa. Okay, so this is okay. So this is my issue with the MCU with Marvel because I'm gonna tell y'all this too. So I have not seen any Marvel movies since the original Black Panther. I stopped because it's too much. It's too me and my coworker Mike was talking about this yesterday. It is too interconnected, and there are people on what people say Beyonce's internet that want X-Men 97 to be tied into the MCU. And I'm like, no, we don't need that. Let X-Men 97 be its own thing. And if y'all want to do the MCU version of X-Men, that's fine. But let X-Men 97 stay where it's at. Because I don't feel like having to watch this and that and this and those in order to understand what's going on. That's what my issue is with the MCU. You have to watch the movies, you have to watch the shows, and it's like I don't feel like watching all that.
Yeah, I'm an MCU head. I've watched all of them.
Even the stuff on Disney, even on the stuff on
I've
Disney
watched.
Plus.
Yes, Loki, Moon Knight. I watched
wow.
everything. I know everything about it. What's WandaVision? I watched all of it. So, but like you said, I feel like it would be pointless to add X-Men because it's technically still in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still like you would have to like fast forward. They would be old. Like if you wanted to bring them in, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, like you said, it would be a lot to bring them in. Like they would have to do a whole, just like they did in the last episode with the time jump. They would have to literally do that and end up in wherever it stops at recently, maybe 2020, 2022, wherever the MCU has stopped at. Whatever year it is, but they would have to like time jump to that. Like, and then that, but what would that help? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't like it. Like you said, I feel like if they want to bring X-Men, they just need to start over. Like, just start over.
Do your own thing with the movies.
And that's what everybody's saying with that's what everybody's saying with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, they're like, well, maybe, because apparently Deadpool goes through the multiverse in this movie. And that's how Hugh Jackman comes back as Wolverine.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like, what are we trying to? I just need to know the storyline, like because the storyline was supposed to be Kang, but then Buddy got into all that, which I'm not gonna get into that because that's not a topic that I want to speak on.
Okay,
Buddy got into all that, and then they took Kang away from him. But it's like that was a main part of what was supposed to happen in the MCU. Because what they were trying to do, because they were trying to, I feel like they were trying to bring everybody back. Because technically, because Iron Man's dead, Captain America's dead, basically. Like, all these people are dead. I feel like they were going to start over with the time jump, like the time thing. And that's what because Kang was supposed to start a war. So unless they replace him, replace him with somebody else, I don't know. But like you said, I feel like they should leave it alone. Like, I don't think they should bring X-Men in unless they're, like, starting over.
And there's another theory out there that X-Men 97 is tied into this new this new Deadpool and Wolverine. Because in the last episode of X-Men 97, at the end when they showed everybody in their different, that they showed people in the past and they showed Jean and Cyclops in the future, we did not see Storm. I didn't see Storm.
Yeah.
And we did not see Wolverine.
Yeah.
So they're saying, allegedly, that the Wolverine that's in X-Men 97 is the Wolverine that's in Deadpool and Wolverine. Allegedly. So.
I wouldn't be shocked. Because like you said, they've mixed every show on Disney with the MCU. Like they have. Like that's what they've done. Every show is about, like, you will see characters from every show and something else in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like even the girl from what's the show called? She's deaf. I can't think. They just had a show recently about a deaf girl, a deaf hero or a villain, whatever she is. But yeah, like she's been in other shows already. Like so she's been in other shows. Like she's been here. Like yeah, it's a lot. Like The writers are good. I feel like they could make it work. I don't want them to make it work. Like I feel like they can if they wanted to. But like you said, it would suck for like people like who haven't watched
Yeah,
like anything.
yeah,
Like
but it's like you.
it's like
You like you some it's certain it's just for me, I just feel like you like certain things. You have people like you that are gonna watch everything. But you have people like me, you're gonna only watch certain things that you actually enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
like
No, because that's what happened with Black Panther. Like everybody, everybody was like, "We're going to see Black Panther," and they went and watched it, and then they never watched anything else. Like they were like, "Yeah, that's it." We're gonna wait for the second.
I
one.
rem-
Like we're gonna wait for the second
Yeah.
one, and then you come into the second one and you're confused. Like it may have been some points where it was like, huh?
I remember.
Like
I just remember.
you know,
Yeah, I remember we went to the. I think I went to the movies and I remember asking Carmen questions about Black Panther because I know they tied that. That's what came before that. Was it Thor? Not Thor.
it was Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, Captain America.
It was Civil War.
So
Yeah.
some things happened in Captain America Civil War, obviously, and they tied that into the first Black Panther. And I remember asking Carmen. I was like, "What? What's going on?" And so she had to like quietly explain it to me real quick. So I was like, "Oh, okay," because I was so confused.
Yeah, he came in Civil War. His dad, like you said, his dad died in Captain America. So when you come to Black Panther, his dad's already dead. Like the king is already dead.
Gotcha.
He's becoming the king now, and that's how that whole him and his cousin start fighting and stuff for the spot.
Gotcha.
But that's because his dad died in Captain America. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you said, it's like it sucks because the whole movie won't confuse you, but there will be certain parts in the movie where you're like, what does that have to do with anything? Like,
and even at the end credits of Black Panther, I remember there was the white guy that was at the end.
Yeah,
and was like, who's that? You know what I'm saying? Like just different things like that. I don't feel like asking who is that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like doing that. And so, but speaking on Black Panther, so, and this is like I said again, I think Chadwick Boseman was amazing. I think he's an amazing talent. And I understand that we want to respect what he's given to the role and everything, but I really think it was a disservice not continuing the character.
No, yeah, for
sure. I
100%.
definitely think. I know people might nail me to the cross for that, but I really think that was a disservice. I feel like that character should have been recasted.
I feel like, honestly, like you said, he gave so much to it where it's like you gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Like because he was so necessary in the storyline, like in the MCU storyline. Like he was so necessary. Like they need Black Panther in the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know they're gonna try to do with his sister, but it's like, nah, we needed him. Like we, we needed him.
And this is nothing against. Like this is nothing against this. Was Shuri?
Right, the sister.
Sorry, there's nothing against.
Shuri,
There's nothing against the sister. I think because eventually in the comics she does become the Black Panther as well.
Panther, yeah.
But I mean, I feel like there's a sequence that we need. If we're gonna stick to if we're gonna stick to the comics or stick to the story, you gotta do that with everything. And I feel like I know we as Black people we're so loyal to things. But I feel like we were done a disservice. I don't care what anybody. I'm gonna stick to that statement. I said that's an I said what I said statement. We were done a disservice by not recasting that character. And I know people were saying, well, that's big shoes to fill. Well, I feel like if you'd have got
let's fill them.
I feel like if you'd have got the actor, it would have been if you would have got somebody who was an excellent actor, but not like A-list, I feel like, that person definitely would have taken that role and definitely would have carried that mantle for sure. So, and I just feel like, again, we and I agree with this statement. We've recasted Batman so many times.
Why can't we
recasted Spider-Man so many times. I mean, it's just like, you can do another person to pay T'Challa, but with that being said, I did like that they incorporated Black Panther in X-Men '97. I love Because at first I was confused. They said T'Challa. I think T'Challa or something like that.
Yeah, his dad. I think that's his dad's name. Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
at first I was confused like T'Challa, but either way, I just thought that was cool that we got to see Black Panther in this world. However, so with that being said, I need my Black Panther and Storm storyline. I need it now.
You and your sister both. You and your sister are
Yeah.
heavy. Carmen is heavy on that too. Like,
Yes.
she wants to.
Yes.
She wants to Black Panther and Storm because that don't they have? That's how what's his name comes to be. It's a certain character that is their child, right? Isn't
I
in the comics? Carmen has gone into comics before. When it came to this, I think she's like really read the comics about it. I think it's a character.
Yes, they have a son. They have a son, Azari. It's the son of Black Panther and Storm.
Yeah,
he was taken to safety by Iron Man alongside with James Rogers. Okay, so yeah, they got all that history. So yeah, so they do have a son.
Yeah, I feel like it was an important person. Yeah, but
he looks dope too. He looks dope. Yeah, no, we need that. No, we need that. We need that. No, we need that.
Because I think he's a part of the Young Avengers, if I'm not mistaken. Like maybe, I think he's a part of Young Avengers.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. But all I'm gonna say is this: if y'all are not going to give us the movies or give us a TV show as like a live action TV show, a live action movie, please give it to us in the cartoon. All I'm asking, you know what? It ain't even gotta be a part of X-Men. If you want to give Storm her own limited series spinoff where she's in Wakanda with Black Panther and they do their thing, because they end up getting they do end up divorcing or breaking up or whatever. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just need to see the Black excellence that is Storm and Black Panther.
They do all the limited series. They could do that. It'll do 8 episodes. Like some. They could do that.
I'll be so satisfied with that. I'll be so satisfied with that. 100%.
They could do that.
Yeah. Sure. Has anybody moved up in your roster after watching X-Men 97? Like I said, for me, Bishop definitely moved up in my roster. Like I thought Bishop was pretty cool in the old ones. He's a black guy, so I'm always rooting for people that's black. So I thought he was cool. But when I watched X-Men 97, he definitely, it's to the point I'm dressing up as Bishop for Halloween. That's how serious it is. So
mine would be Morph. Like I said, I think Morph moved up. Like I didn't even know who he was, but he's top. Like you can't beat that. Like somebody who can literally turn into anybody and have their powers. Like yeah, I feel like he's definitely moved up in my ranking. Professor Xavier moved up. I thought he was lame. Like in the movies, like he was just a guy in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't have metal around your head or whatever Magneto had, you can't. Like he's just gonna read your mind. Like oh my god. But yeah, no, he's definitely knowing the powers he has. He's moved up. Like I know he doesn't use them because he's so like a pacifist, whatever. I think that's the word. Like he doesn't choose violence.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Professor Xavier definitely moved up. I didn't understand. So I had at first I was like, why are we mad at Professor? I need to get into this real quick. Why were we mad at him? You know how like Ro was mad at him when she was like, "You left us." Didn't y'all send him up there? like what? Like why are you mad at me? Like
I guess
I was very confused. Is it because how long he took to come back?
I guess that's what I was saying. I guess probably because he was gone for a year. So I guess him being gone that long, that's probably why they were upset.
Oh my God, a year. Like, oh my God. Like,
but honestly, I mean, Xavier being back was not going to prevent Genosha. I think Genosha was going to happen regardless.
And then, like, too, like, because it's not like when Magneto came into charge, he just started doing crazy stuff. He was trying to keep following Xavier's thing. Like they were gonna do that, like you said, regardless.
Right.
Like so, yeah. Like Obuddy was going because that wasn't even the government. That was Obuddy, wasn't it? The Sindel guy. Like
Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah. Like he was
But
gonna do it
yeah,
anyway.
he's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of Bastion, I hope I'm saying it right, Bastion. I thought his final form was dope.
Yes.
That, like when he
Yes.
took off Cable's arm, and like first of all he slapped Cable with his own arm, and then when he
Disrespectful.
and then when he used it to go into his final form, I was like, oh man, like he looks that final form
dope.
outfit was tight.
No, he was dope.
That was tight.
But see, I'm a person who always thinks villains are way better than superheroes. They have better they have better outfits, they have better powers. Like the superheroes, what kills me about superheroes, and I get that's why the Avengers are named Avengers and all this stuff. Why do you have to get beat up first before you finally go off? You know what I'm saying? Like it kills me about superheroes. Like when it comes to Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Every Spider-Man movie, he has to get his butt whooped the whole movie before the end, and he finally just like goes into this rage and like beats the like. It's like, yo, why couldn't you just do that from the beginning? Like I don't know. Like I said, I always liked villains. Like I've always liked villains because villains are just cooler. Like than the superheroes because they just like they're ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes superheroes, like I feel like superheroes sometimes you gotta turn that ruthlessness on when you go against them.
That's true.
Like I get that y'all try to save everybody. Y'all want to be, like at the end when he was looking at them like, y'all still trying to save me? Y'all are suicidal. Like like they don't care about y'all. And then they look at the missiles coming for them. Like yeah, they don't care about like. Sometimes you gotta be ruthless.
That's yeah.
And I guess that's why I sided on Magneto, like Magneto's side sometimes, where it's like, bro, they don't care about y'all. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, but like you said, his final form was
good. My final form.
And I didn't think they was gonna beat him that easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
like it was kind of easy. Like I feel like it was kind of easy.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna carry over into like season 2.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it was kind of like. But that's when I found out. Oh, Rogue moved up. Rogue for sure moved up. Like Rogue, when she was beating on him, I was like, "Oh, she's strong."
Yeah.
Like she was beating on him by herself. Like I don't need no help. Like y'all, like I'm gonna kill him by myself. Like yeah, that Rogue definitely moved up.
Yeah, definitely.
I got my 5 now, I guess.
Yeah, Nightcrawler. Honestly, Nightcrawler was definitely in my 5, but Nightcrawler, I loved, like he was dope in it. Like and the old ones. I mean, he was cool. Of course, it was more so they showed more of his humanity and like as far as his relationship with God. It was more so that side. We didn't really get to see a lot of him fighting. But in this one. He got the swords and all the other stuff, man. Like, man, yeah.
With his tail, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Nightcrawler is definitely that guy. Nightcrawler is definitely dope. I was telling my coworker though, we didn't see Mystique in this one. We didn't see Mystique in the X-Men.
No, yeah, she wasn't in there.
We didn't see her at all, and that's very surprising.
Was she in the TV show? Was she in the original? She was in the original, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mystique was in there a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. So of course we ended. So the asteroid, of course, it blows up or whatever happens to it. It's this big old time thing. Bishop I was really upset that Bishop wasn't like Bishop left in episode 3 and was gone, and then he didn't come back to like the last episode. I was like, where's my guy Bishop? So I was glad to see him back. So Forge is trying to get some people to, I guess, to bring back a different team of X-Men or whatever, and also try to locate where everybody else is. We see in the past they're in Egypt. We see Rogue, Beast, Xavier, Magneto. Was Morph in that? Did we see Morph?
I don't think so.
I think I need to rewatch it. I still need to
Yeah, I
rewatch it
need
because I
to.
can't remember. I know we didn't see Storm. I don't remember seeing Storm. I know we didn't see Wolverine,
Yeah,
but they weren't in Egypt. And so then we see
because Jean and Cyclops are only in
they're in the future.
the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see this younger version. When I saw this dude fighting, and then he took off his mask and he said his name, I was like, "Oh, this is Apocalypse." I said, "Okay, this this
I
about to
was
be."
like, when you I had looked it up because I was like, what is that? And then I saw because I was like, that looks familiar, like the Egypt like thing, like all that stuff. And I realized who he was because I did watch Apocalypse, the one that we was talking about, the movie, the actual movie, like the Origins one. And I watched it, and it was based off like they were at a pyramid and all that too. Like it was Egypt based. So yeah, I was like, that's dope. I didn't realize like I don't know, he just looked cooler.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like he just looked cooler. Yeah,
Yes.
like it's just, in the movie he was like blue, like he was like blue and stuff. I don't know. He just looked cooler. He just looked cooler.
Yeah, he
Like,
looked dope. And then, like I said, then we see Cyclops and Jean there in the future, and then they actually, the lady that shows up at the end, she says her name is Mother Ascani, and from what I understand, from what I've learned from my coworker who is the X-Men connoisseur, that is Rachel Summers, who actually is the daughter of Cyclops and Jean.
so both their kids, because little Nathan was.
So and
What's
then
his
we see little Nathan pop up
name?
as well. So basically, Rachel allegedly, from what my coworker is telling me, Rachel has been raising Nathan. And from what my coworker told me too, there is a part in the comics where Jean and Cyclops go into the future, and then they have a brief moment. They're going to raise Nathan as well. So it's X-Men.
Okay, so
X-Men's a lot of
the
time travel
idea-
stuff.
right, I see. Okay, so Bishop, that's where Bishop originally took him. Is what we're guessing. Like that's what I'm guessing.
I guess
because the other Nathan, he was saying that it was the other Nathan. Bastion said this was like his 200th time trying it, like trying to stop him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like Bishop, because Bishop got lost for, like you said, the whole rest of the season.
Right.
Like and then come back to the end.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess I hope they'll explain all of that. This time travel stuff, like I said, that's the thing. You got the time travel, you got the multiverse, you got all these different variants.
Right.
It's just so much that goes into all of this. You know what I'm saying?
But
so,
see, that's why I've always said they needed X-Men in the MCU, because X-Men deals with all that, like the time, like you said, the time traveling and all that stuff. Like, there's nobody like MCU that they brought along. Like Doctor Strange, maybe the only person that kinda can do it.
mm-hmm.
Like, but everybody else like can't really time. Like they did like Iron Man made the thing where they could time travel, but they had to use. Yeah, it was too much. Like we need somebody that just got the powers.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have anybody, so it would be smart to bring the X-Men in.
Yeah.
All the multiverse stuff, but
yeah.
Who do you think pulled them? Because then they say somebody took.
Yeah,
them.
they said somebody pulled them. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely don't know. I don't have any theories on it. I really don't know. I am anxious to get season 2. I mean, I really, from what I understand, they're the actors are done voicing from what I read. And the rumor is that we're supposed to get season 2 late next year. I don't want that. I want early next year.
Right, same time.
Yeah. Same a year later.
Unless you got like 20 episodes, unless we get more episodes, same time. What are we doing? But see, that's the thing about Marvel that kills me, is because they have all this stuff coming out, so they push other things back because they're releasing like all these movies and like all these other shows. So it's like while we want to put X-Men out at the same time we put it out this year, something else is coming out at that time, probably. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe another movie's, I don't know. Because they still got to do all these other, like the live action movies they still got to come out with.
Yeah.
Because they haven't had one in a minute, I feel like. I feel like it's been a while.
Talking about X-Men?
Just Marvel, period.
Marvel
movies. Yeah, like, they still got to come out with movies. But that's what I hate about it. Because it's like, no, bring it out at the same time. Like, why do I have to wait till 2026? And it's like, bro, don't tell me that. Like, just wait until it's closer. Like, I hate when it's 2022 and they're like, yeah, Avengers doesn't come out to 2025. Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
That's 3 years from now.
I agree. I agree.
Just wait. Just let me, just wait till, like, 2024, 2025, like, and then be like, all right, this movie's coming out to next month or next year.
Right.
Like, they be doing too much with that stuff. Like,
yeah. When they do the whole like the whole timeline, they held the whole part the review. I'm like, oh.
I can't stand it. Every year they do it, and I'm like, stop doing that to me. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I've known about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 since college. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out. I can't remember, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I think I've known for like 2020, and it just came out last year. I think. Like, don't tell me that. I've been waiting for that movie, and y'all telling me I gotta wait longer.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they push the movies back. Like, and it's like, bro, y'all be playing too much.
Yeah. We about to wrap this up. Any season 2 predictions? Or anything that you want to see? Or anybody that you want to see?
I think Magneto's gonna be pissed off at Professor. Like, I know they kind of talked about it in his head, but I don't think he fully grasped it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of what really happened. I think he's gonna be upset. But where's the Professor at? Is the Professor with them in Egypt?
Yeah. I think Beast was carrying them.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like that's gonna be a whole thing, but I feel like they're gonna have to get over it because they're gonna have to deal with Apocalypse. I think their daughter's gonna end up being like a villain. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a thing.
Who
they're gonna have to fight? I don't know.
Whose daughter?
Jean and Cyclops.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I didn't read the comics. I don't want to be wrong, but I feel like I don't get a good feeling about her. Like, I didn't get a good feeling about her. I don't know. That's about it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's all I got right now.
What was your thoughts on Wolverine getting his metal ripped out of him?
I thought he was dead. I thought the way it looked like his whole body was split open.
That didn't look crazy.
Which it was.
That didn't look crazy.
Like, I thought he was dead. I texted you, was like, so Wolverine's dead? Like,
nah.
And you were like, no, his metal just got taken out. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, that was wild.
That was wild.
Like, that was wild. Like, Magneto is, like you said, Magneto is crazy. Like, he's dope. Like the fact that you just ripped all his metal out. You knew it wasn't gonna kill him. Like, like Magneto knew he wasn't gonna die from it. Like, but he would, like, the fact that you did that is crazy. Like, yeah, I was very shocked. Somebody gonna have to. He might. Though he might end up in Wakanda and get the metal put inside of him. The vibranium. That might be, like you said, because we didn't see them. Like, he might have to go there. They got all the technology and stuff. Like,
that is true. I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean, anything that's gonna get Black Panther on my screen, I'm not mad at that. So I'm not mad at that at all.
Go to
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a comic reader, but yeah, that would be the ideal spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was wild. I thought Magneto was like, because I mean he stabbed Wolverine, stabbed Magneto. I thought Magneto was gone, like, because apparently in the comics, Magneto like dies several times and then comes back. So
I feel like that's just X-Men. They
yeah.
all die, don't they?
Yeah, like it's
Like unless you a not an important like not too important, you coming back. Like when Jean died, technically, when she got hit by a cable, and then turned into the Phoenix.
I knew that was happening. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
they
like
kept showing
she can't die.
they kept showing the Phoenix in the opening credits, and I was like, oh, okay, she about the Phoenix about I am Phoenix, like that whole girl. You not Storm. Stop trying to be extra. You not Storm, girl. Stop.
Storm loves it, but Storm loves it. She says, "I got somebody else that's like me."
Oh man,
Storm loved it.
Yes. What was I about to say? Okay, so the Phoenix, season 2 Wolverine. I think that's it. I can't remember if there's anything else I wanted to say about next. Oh, that's what it is. Gambit. So, the rumor, and of course, I think this is also in the comments. Gambit is going to come back, but he's going to be one of Apocalypse's horsemen, the Horsemen of Death. Because you saw at the end that Apocalypse held up the burnt card. That's Gambit's card, and he said so much death, and that's how it ended. So I think that's alluding to Gambit coming back, but he's going to be one of the horsemen.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I know people were saying, of course, we had this time, that they do the time travel, and people were saying that they're going to go back into the past and change it to where Gambit doesn't get killed. But it's also saying, like, again, there are certain points in time that you can't change. They explained that on the show, too. Like, there's certain points that you can't change. So, Genosha was going to happen regardless. It's going to happen regardless because that's something that has to happen. Now, whether Gambit dying, I don't know. That's a thing that has to happen. But like I said, I just know that really saddened me. I'm not sure if I'm ready to see Gambit as a horseman. I don't know if I'm ready for that. But we'll see if that does happen. Like I said, this whole thing has been a cool ride. I've enjoyed talking about it from week to week. Evolution right now is gonna fill my void. I'm gonna be watching Evolution. Because I need something to do on Wednesdays now. So it's like, all right. Because that was my routine on Wednesdays. Wake up, spend time with God, watch X-Men. That's my routine. But right before I go work out or do what I'm going to do, I watch X-Men. So I was like, I need something else to do now. So I was like, all right, I'll watch X-Men Evolution. And I'm going to watch, I don't know if you ever watched Wolverine and the X-Men. They only had one season, but I'm going to watch that too.
Okay. No, I didn't watch
they said it's pretty good, but of course, they only got one season. They got canceled, so because you see more of Emma Frost. A lot of people are talking about Emma Frost. A lot of people are saying that she's like a really good mutant. So I'm curious to see if they actually utilize her more in X-Men 97 as well, because she made it. She lived. They found her. They found her when they was going to clean up Genosha and find some more survivors. So. Apparently, she's supposed to lead her own X-Men too. So it's like, it's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. Which is why I enjoy this world of X-Men, because there's so much stuff and that you can learn and just really get caught up in this whole entire universe, which I think is cool.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was saying there's a lot of them. That's why I feel like they should have their own universe.
We didn't see Kitty. We didn't see Kitty Pryde. Like, I know people talk about Kitty Pryde too. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of people that they. Hopefully, like you said, the second season they kind of bring in more people.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have to though with Forge in them.
Yeah.
So
I think.
Yeah, Forge is gonna. I feel like they're gonna bring a lot of people with Forge.
Yeah.
And Bishop.
Yeah. Yep. Well, all right, everybody. We both have to get on with our day. We have lives, so. But yeah, we definitely thank y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to Carlton's World. If there are more shows and stuff y'all want us to talk about, or you want me to talk about, I definitely can do that, because I'm a TV connoisseur. I love watching TV.
We also need to talk about. We need to get on here and talk about Kendrick.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll make that. We'll actually make that a sibling thing.
Yes. That's fine.
We'll get Carmen. we'll get Carmen and Kendra on here too, and we'll do that.
I need to talk about that for sure. Because I want to listen, like he told y'all, I have a podcast, but that podcast ain't about that. I can't talk about that on that podcast. I would have to change the whole name for the episode. Like I would have to change the whole name of the podcast. But yeah, no, I for sure want to talk about Kendrick for sure.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll plan that. All right, everybody. That is it for me. I'm Carlton. That's Cameron, and this has been Carlton's World. Peace.
Peace.